Hello YouTube, welcome once more to Valley Sport and Marine, a local power sport dealer here in Minot, North Dakota. Today we're taking a look at the Mahindra Roxor. So we have two of them here today. We have a white color one, and then we have this black Roxor. As you know, they come in 4 trim levels. You have the base, and then you have the base 2, and then you have the limited edition, and then you have the special edition. And you can tell those editions, they have these. The special edition, there's 300 of them that are made, and you can see they have this special striping, and I think they also have a special dash. Well, this one is regular. That's regular, but you can see on the limited edition, you have the light bar, you have the rear view mirrors, and there should be a sound bar somewhere behind, but I don't see it on this one. And then on top of that, you have the 8,000 pound winch. It's a 1 winch unit, good for 8,000 pounds up front, and off-road ready bumpers, which is what you have here compared to the regular edition. So those are the main differences that you will find between the base and then the base, the limited edition. All right, to talk a little bit about the Roxor, it's based off of the Jeep, original Jeep wheelies. Mahindra, which is an Indian company, got the license to build the Jeep from wheelies in 1947, and they've been building these Jeeps since then non-stop. So in November 2017, they announced that they will be building a version for the US market, and it will be a side-by-side. 2nd of March 2018, it was presented to the UTV market here in North America, in America to be specific, and this is what they called it. It's called a Roxor. It's powered by a 2.5 turbo diesel engine. It has a compression ratio of 18.6:1. It's a very, very powerful unit. But for the US market, it has been derated to 62 horsepower, which comes on at 62 horsepower at I believe it's 3,200 RPM. That's when you have the peak power of 62 horsepower or 63 brake horsepower. And then the other thing about this is it has a common rail, it's a direct injection common rail. So it's a very, very robust unit that has been proven on the bad roads that you have in some third world countries and maybe the Indian subcontinent. Not saying that it's a bad thing. Other features, you have a 5-speed gearbox with a low and high range 4-wheel drive. Everything on here is mechanic, nothing is electronic except for the engine management, but everything else is back to the basics. You have the powder spray on powder Rhino lined interior and rear bed. It takes diesel, as you can see right here on the cap, diesel only. It has this is basically the THAR, THAR, that's sold in India. You can see you have the bolts for the tire holder, everything, the holes, everything is pre-drilled, everything is there. Now this is also compliant with EPA regulations. I believe the specific part is 1051 of the EPA. It's good for that. And if you look carefully here, you will see that's the frame, the box frame. It's very solid. This is the THAR. That's how you spell the THAR right there. and it just had a few modifications to make it compliant with the US off-road market. One of those regulations required that these bars, the rollover protection ROPS system, should be bolted directly to the box frame. So that's one of the regulations, that's requirements. Many of the parts, the vehicles come disassembled from India, and they are assembled by Mahindra Automotive North America. They just built a 150,000 square foot facility in Auburn Hills, Michigan, and that's where these are all put together. Right now, in late 2018, I think they still have like 20% of the parts are sourced locally. The rest is comes from India. Now you see these are some of the additions for the limited edition. You have the rear view mirror, you have those grab handles, you have the mirror there, and then you have the 8,000 pound winch. So speaking about some of the components, this is all automotive grade, heavy duty, as you can see. The very, very heavy duty, solid. You have the transfer case there, protected by a steel plate. So that's what it looks like underneath. It has a full floating front element for the drivetrain, and the rear drivetrain is partially floating. So these are really heavy duty components. Some might think it looks a little bit small, but remember your Jeeps, these tires are all terrain from BF Goodrich, and the size is right there, 235 70 16s, and you can definitely go bigger. You have the 9-inch disc brake up front and 11-inch drum brake in the rear, and this is hydraulically assisted. You also have just the basic instruments. The cargo bed here is good for 349 pounds. It can definitely carry more than that, but that's just to meet the regulations. The vehicle, you can see right here in the bumper in the rear, you have all those holes drilled, which for components you can add, like a hitch. And the vehicle itself weighs 3,035 pounds, and it can tow 3,490 pounds. When towing, you are limited to a speed of 15 miles per hour. You can definitely go more than that, but that's what the regulations say. You can't go more than 15 miles an hour, and you can't tow more than 3,490 pounds. What else do we have to add? You have these storage bins underneath the seats, and you can see everywhere on the body places where you have components in other markets. You see, so putting a door on here is simply you have to take those out, and your door should bolt right in, and you have your 4 doors. What else? What am I forgetting here? Well, so basically, yeah, this is your Mahindra Roxor. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask. But don't forget, you also have a company out of Chandler, Arizona, that has been able to crack the software that powers this engine. So it can now do more than 70 to 80 miles per hour, though it wouldn't be really recommended looking at the wheelbase and the way it's built. So yeah, you can definitely take the ECU out, send it to the company in Chandler, Arizona, and they will have it tuned for you with all the restrictions taken off, and then the car will become a beast at that time. The accelerator pedal is electronic, as you can see, fully electronic. 2 cup holders, and some people complain that the gear shift can actually touch the brake, the handbrake, but that would be if you're in fourth gear or in reverse. Doesn't happen often. Have all those open slots for switches. The hood latch, you have it on both sides, just a simple Jeep style kind of hook. So there you go. You have your Mahindra Roxor. If you have any questions, please ask below, comment, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.